to the bar. And the name of the bar is called Heaven. The band in Heaven plays my favorite song. They play it all night long. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. There's a party, everyone is there. Exactly the same time, and it's hard to imagine that nothing at all could be so exciting, could be so much fun. A place where nothing ever happens. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. Yes, I'm going to put songs in. Songs will be interspersed with this. You know, the point at which I stare at the camera and try and think could be the outstanding scene in this entire show. I don't know. Maybe if I screw with the special effects enough, it will become the featured item. I don't know. What? It snows in the winter. Well, here's another song. Leroy CARR, It's Too Short. Down and out, ain't got no friends around. Oh, well, I'm down and out, ain't got no friends around. I go from door to door and everybody turns me down. Treats me like a motherless child. Oh, my woman treats me like I was a motherless child. She's always squabbling, she won't give me a pleasant smile. Here I am now, people, out in the ice and snow. go. She says she likes my music, but my tune is too short. Oh, well, she says she likes my music, but my tune's too short. If she gets a long record player, she's sure to get caught. Baby, I can't help it if I can't play low. Oh, baby, I can't help it if I can't play low. I'm just a little skinny fellow, and I ain't very strong. Baby, I can't help it if my tune ain't long enough. If my tune ain't long enough, let me play it again. Leroy CARR was a skinny little fella, and he didn't live to get old. He lived to about 30 or something. A poor guy, I think he had tuberculosis or something. It wasn't very well. He used to play with Scrapper Blackwell. Now, there is a great name for a guitar player, Scrapper Blackwell. Of course, Charlie Christian is a great name for a guitar player, too. There are so many great names, and there are so many great guitar players. Yep, there sure are. I think I'm an outstanding rhythm guitar player. I guess I'm an interpreter of older material and somewhat unique in the variety of things that I attack and hopefully subdue, if not conquer. Ah, my head people. You know, this shot reminds me of the last movie I saw with Tom Cruise. And I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan, and I'm not the shortest Tom Cruise fan either. But he is great in a couple of movies. I really enjoy him in several movies. Tropic Thunder, his role in Tropic Thunder is truly great. And looking at the bald spot on my head reminds me of the bald spot they gave him in Tropic Thunder. Yep, Tom Cruise. The other movie he's great in is Magnolia. If you haven't seen Magnolia, it's a really good movie. It's a 3-hour movie with a large ensemble cast. I'll just stare at the microphone. And that way I won't have to worry about which camera is missing me. Hey there. Okay, so Tom Cruise likes to run. You know, when I think about Tom Cruise, I think about him being married to Nicole Kidman. You know that she's over 6 feet and he's like just over 5 feet? Thank you. Yes, Nicole Kidman from Australia. You should see the movie To Die For if you like Nicole Kidman. It's one of her best. And there's a movie that Kubrick did called Eyes Wide Shut. And it is the strangest movie, as you could say about many of Kubrick's movies. But they walk down a hallway together, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. And you look at the back of their heads, as they're walking down the hallway. And they are level. They're level, which means that the hallway was constructed for that scene with a foot-high riser on one side where Tom Cruise is walking, so that even though he's a full head shorter than his wife, you can't tell. Yeah, they do body double scenes. What really is silly is like Demi Moore having a $100,000 a year personal trainer living at her house, and then she does that movie, Striptease, and then she chickens out when it comes to the nude scene and has the body double do the nude scene. I mean, if you're going to spend the money, use the money.
Nobody rings my bell. Nobody knocks upon my door. Nobody calls me on the phone. Nobody won't leave me alone. Nobody follows me down the street. Nobody sees everything I do. Nobody stops to pass the time of day. Nobody has nothing to say. I don't want nobody following me. Get off of my cloud, get out of my tree. They say nobody is an island, and nobody can do everything I can. Nobody sleeps in the hall outside. Nobody looks in my window at night. Nobody watches out for me. Nobody knows how it feels to be me. I don't want nobody bothering me. Get off of my cloud, get out of my tree. They say nobody is an island. Nobody can do everything I can. Nobody can do the jerk like I do. Nobody can do the shimmy like I do. Nobody can do the shing-a-lang like I do. Nobody can do the pony like I do. Nobody can do the shake like I do. Nobody, 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 nobody but me.
And thank you to the Isley brothers for the end, and the human beings with a Z. Now this is a piece by Joseph Mitchell, who was on the staff of The New Yorker from 1938 until his death in 1996. He was born in 1908 in North Carolina, and he moved to New York City at the age of 21 to pursue a career as a writer. What follows here is the initial chapter of a planned memoir that Mitchell started in the late 60s and early 70s, but as with other writings after 1964, never completed. It's from Street Life, Becoming Part of the City. Okay, just this piece. Joseph Mitchell. Ever since I came here, I have been fascinated by the ornamentation of the older buildings of the city. The variety of it fascinates me, and also the ubiquity of it, the overwhelming ubiquity of it, the almost comical ubiquity of it. In thousands upon thousands of blocks on just about any building you look at, sometimes in the most unexpected and out-of-the-way places, there it is. Sometimes it is almost hidden under layers of paint that took generations to accumulate, and sometimes it is all beaten and banged and mutilated, but there it is. The eye that searches for it is almost always able to find it. I never get tired of gazing from the back seats of buses at the stone eagles and the stone owls and the stone dolphins and the stone lions' heads and the stone bulls' heads and the stone rams' heads and the stone urns and the stone tassels and the stone laurel wreaths and the stone scallop shells and the cast iron stars and the cast iron rosettes and the cast iron medallions and the clusters of cast iron acanthus leaves bolted to the capitals of cast iron Corinthian columns, and the festoons of cast iron flowers, and the swags of cast iron fruit, and the zinc brackets in the shape of oak leaves propping up the zinc cornices of brownstone houses, and the scroll-sawed barge boards framing the dormers of decaying old mansard-roofed mansions, and the terracotta cherubs and nymphs and satyrs and sibyls and sphinxes with atlases and dianas and medusas serving as keystones in arches over the doorways and windows of tenement houses. There are some remarkably silly-looking things among these ornaments, but they are silly-looking things that have lasted for 100 years or more. In the dirtiest and most corrosive air in the world, the equivalent of 1,000 years in an olive grove in Greece. And there is something triumphant about them. They have triumphed over time and ice and frost and heat and humidity and wind and rain and brutally abrupt temperature fluctuations and rust and pigeon droppings and smoke and soot and sulfuric acid, not to speak of the perpetual nail loosening and timber weakening and stone cracking and mortar crumbling vibration from the traffic down below. Furthermore, they have triumphed over profound changes in architectural styles. I revere them. To me, they are sacred objects. The sight of a capricious bit of carpentry or brick masonry or stone masonry or blacksmithery or tinsmithery or tiles setting high up on the facade of a building executed long ago by some forgotten working man will lift my spirits for hours. Joseph Mitchell. So that's in the current New Yorker. And it is now several, oh good, it is now several days. It is, but they were saying that there's an incredible market in Tide. There's all these, I don't know if it's drug dealers looking for it or what, but Tide, the supply cannot fill the demand. It's really something. Another album cover, another fine album cover I have brought for you today is Grand Hotel by Procol Harum. It's got a booklet in the gatefold, which is not anchored, as you saw. There's a nice picture. Now, the fellow with the tray looks like a silver tray with nothing on it, actually. That is Keith Reed, who shares my birthday, October 10th, and also Thelonious Monk and David Lee Roth. Keith Reed wrote the words, and one of the fellows with the top hat is Gary Brooker, who wrote the music and sings the words. Very interesting. So this is Grand Hotel, one of their lesser-known albums, I guess. Oh, this is nice. Who did what? Gary Brooker wrote and sang the melodies and played the piano. Alan Cartwright, electric and acoustic bass. B.J. Wilson, drums, percussion, and 22 mandolins. I'm not sure about that part. He was a great drummer, R.I.P. He got a disease, a rare disease, and he perished. And he's gone now. The last time I saw him play, he was in Joe Cocker's band. And they were great. I saw them at the Ritz in the early 80s. I believe the Joe Cocker album that he was touring with, his latest at the time, was Luxury You Can Afford. A nice album, a decent album. But B.J. Wilson was just great. It's too bad. Then it says Mick Grabham, electric guitars. Maybe it's Grabham. I don't know. Chris Copping on the organ, and Keith Reed wrote the words for all the songs. Nice. The booklet, Welcome to the Grand Hotel, consisting of sketchy sketches, and there isn't much that you're missing. This is just like the lyrics and an abstract, that's not as abstract, a sketch to accompany the lyric. You can see that that is a foot. It's a foot which slightly resembles my own in that it seems to have a bone spur on one side. But that's it. That's the giant booklet and the 1972. And the last 2 pages are really nothing. It's not that you can't see it. It's that the words on it only occupy several inches. Words, Keith Reed. Drawings, Spencer Zahn, or Zan. And the back is blank, which, as you can see, is blank. It's 111. This is terrific. I am so glad it's 111, because I am always glad when it is 111. 111 is one of my favorite times, not because of what happens, but because I love ones in a row.
The sun is slowly sinking far beyond the rim of time. the girl I left behind. Oh, little girl, don't you ever be blue, 'cause where you go, I go with you. I called you on the phone, but I was drunk and I could not see. I fell right out of the phone booth. You know the blues have the best of me. Oh, little girl, don't you ever be blue, 'cause where you go, I go with you. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la.
Thank you so much for watching show 110. You know the old idea about which came first, the chicken or the egg? It is so obvious to me, though it is meant to be a conundrum and a rhetorical question and some kind of a puzzle. But I have heard that birds descended from lizards. Lizards also have eggs. So one lizard had an egg and out of it came a chicken. So the egg came first. Right? The first chicken did come out of an egg. The first egg didn't come out of a chicken. Thanks so much for coming. I'm so glad that you have come to see show 110. My daughter's in Tennessee now. Imagine that. And there she is.